Hey gang, Diana here. Welcome to the studio. I'm back with a few cards from the Hero Arts kit, and here's a look at that was a look at the first one. I'm using the die cut corners for this card. It's a little bit smaller than usual. I forget what the number is, 3.5 by 5, something like that. I wound up, I cut out the die cuts, and I have to say these Hero Arts die cuts came out so super simple. Really did a clean job. I did emboss these with the pink embossing powder, but right now I'm just trimming away a part of it so they fit neatly into the corners without any overlap in the middle. Um, Working like this is a little fussier than I usually like to work, but it was fun, and why not? So here they're all embossed, and I decided to put them in through my little Xyron. You could have done it with that double stick adhesive when you were die cutting it, but I always forget to do stuff like that. So this worked well. I don't use this often, but when I do, you just have to be sure to burnish everything really well once it comes out on the sticker and get all the glue sticky stuff off of the die cut, especially with these. But you could also use a rubber cement pickup to get rid of any glue. So you can see me here burnishing and then transferring over to I'm using tweezers here to pull the die cut off of that sticky stuff and lay it down. That went kind of quick. I'm sorry about that. Here is the ampersand for the center of that card, and I am using that embossing, I think it's called Embossing Buddy, to keep the static, and I really recommend this so you don't get the embossing powder all over stuck to things. And I wound up really messing this up. You'll see me stamping and stamping, and then I wound up getting embossing powder all over the ampersand. I should have embossed the piece first before putting those die cuts on. All sorts of mess ups here. But what I finally did was I stamped again with Versamark, which came out great on that shimmer paper, by the way. The dye inks do not. So I stamped with Versamark, clear embossed over that. See, you can see the dye inks don't work on that shimmer cardstock. So I clear embossed over that, then I go embossing buddied it real good again and embossed the gold. And then now I'm using Delicato Shimmer Rose just to vignette around the edges of this die cut, and I'll glue that straight up on top of the messed up one. So work with what you've got, fix things as you go. There's always a fix for something. If you stamp something messed up or whatever. That's such a pretty old-fashioned sort of a thing, and I dumped loads of those pretty sequins on it. I love those sequins. They're really pretty. I'm going to see if they sell those separately. Now, this card is featuring a inked die cut technique, and I'm going to show that to you now. I used a Tim Holtz vellum behind it and a shimmer cardstock behind that. I did stick in some of those foam pieces behind that die cut to get some of the ends to stand up a little bit. It was kind of a fussy, it really was kind of a fussy die cut. Again, I not nuts about working this way, but I have to say that I think the cards came out really nicely, and I do like them, and I'm glad I got this kit for for those lacy cards. So here I am with my brayer and an ink pad. You could tap an ink pad on top of it, one of the smaller ones that came with the kit. And I think that's just an ivory colored cardstock there. It's not one of the shimmer ones from the kit. I want to show you that I did add some tape to the top of that die cut so I could pick it up easily, and now I'm just ejecting it using a piercing awl or a pokey tool. And here it comes, and you'll see the edge is now pink, which I thought gave it a really pretty finish and a little definition, so you could see it without the popping dots. And now I'm just doing the same thing with the other die cut with that heart, lacy heart die cut, and it really does look nice. I love the Shizen paper. It was included in the kit. There were two pieces and I got 4 cards plus some trim out of it. And it's a heavyweight handmade paper from India. Now this piece, you can see I added some details with my gold pen, just doodling a little bit. It was fun with the gold pen and some gel pens. And I also grabbed a sentiment, that XOXO sentiment from the Simon kit. And I'm just trying to decide here what to do with it. I felt it just, the feel of the paper helped me decide to do some stitching. So I trimmed that in half, that bigger piece. I think it was 5 by 7. I trimmed it in half, and I'm just brushing away the little flakes that come up on this kind of paper when you do cut it with a paper trimmer rather than a guillotine or scissors. And I'm just, sort of looking at things how I want to do this. I just wanted to show you that when I'm stitching two pieces of paper together, I'll put a little glue stick on the back, place it down there, and then go ahead and stitch. And now here's 5 finished cards. I think I went through pretty much all the techniques. I was picking up pieces from my desk and found these 2 pieces and thought, gee, that would be nice just using that black as a drop shadow behind the ampersand. Here's the ampersand card cut, and mistakes and all, I think it came out pretty nicely. It's like the perfect "You're My Sweetheart" card. And I like the distressed look of that, the way that embossing came out. It was probably a mistake, but I really did think that's pretty cool. It's embossing powder on top of embossing. Here's a card. I didn't show any of this because it was pretty straightforward. That's the inked die cut on some vellum paper from Tim Holtz and glitter cardstock. Here are the stitched cards. I really love them. That paper was fabulous. I like the way that came out with the embossed gold and the extra doodling on the flowers just to create a stronger focal point on that paper. I think you can see here there was this real disconnect in this kit, and I didn't mind it. It wasn't really a problem as far as I was concerned, but I felt like the style of the Shizen papers didn't really go with the style of the stamp set, and that's okay. I just pulled from other pieces. I'm going to put my message back there, by the way. These will be postcards, which I'll put them in an envelope to mail, but basically just getting back to that postcard style of Valentine's Day card. And I left that piece loose, so I will put a sentiment under that flap. And I might put some shimmer paint on top of that heart. I hadn't yet, and I can't find my pen. And this again is just pieces I found laying around I thought would be great for placing a drop shadow just by moving that large die cut over and down a titch. And again, a postcard would work on that. And I have another, I hope to at least share a quick video on another idea or two that I have for using this kit. Hopefully I will have the time for that. I hope you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to share, like, comment below, subscribe. I do a lot of different kinds of videos, so if you're not a subscriber and you are a card maker, just hit that subscribe button, and hopefully once a week or maybe 3 times a month I'll do a card video for you guys. But I also do watercolors and art journaling, and I hope you enjoyed this. So don't forget to give me a thumbs up, and thanks for spending some time with me today.